And bam, we're live. Crucible at CrossFit Crash. Men Masters, third event. Still not sure the name, if it's called the Rewind or the Rewalk. It is 300 feet of handstand walk, 60 feet back and forth 5 times. As those of you who have tuned in earlier know, there are obstacles. There are stairs up, stairs down, ramps up, ramps down. And of course, for the first time ever at a CrossFit event that I know of, what J.R. Howell has devised for the Crash Crucible, the moguls. The moguls. Your friend.
We're back.
We're back. That was smooth. You peed?
Oh, yeah.
Dang, you good. You good.
All right, same exact event for the Masters men as the Masters women and the Elite female women have done. We're going to have 3 heats here of 4. So these athletes are coming in places 9th through 12th. From closest to farthest on your screen, you have Brent Abercrombie, Will Abercrombie, Eamon Coyne, and Colin Leonard.
We got some brothers out there. 3 heats of 4.
Yes.
Are they related? Are they related to the Empire, Mr. Friend? The Abercrombie brothers? Has anyone asked them?
Which Empire? Mayhem?
No, not that Empire. The Abercrombie Empire. No one knows?
One of them is not doing very much. Let's see if we can go on the floor and ask him. I do not know.
Masters event 3. Masters individuals all do the same workouts at the Crash Crucible, as you guys know. Has it been like that every year, or is this a first, Brian?
I don't think he's had Masters divisions before.
So first year's with the Masters division.
JR did come over and tell me that he thought that the Masters women's field would be better than the Masters men's field at this one. The Masters men have more opportunities since they have 12 athletes in the field compared to 8. Currently in this heat, Eamon Coyne is leading the way. The women's leaderboard for the individuals is updated on Tyler's spreadsheet if you want to look at the current standings.
I would love to.
It's not on the local comp one yet. He's bringing in the scores now, but it is on Tyler's spreadsheet, and it's sorted by position.
Okay, guys, look, I'm going to share this with you, and I'm not supposed to share it with you, so get your eyeballs open. I'm going to show it to you. You're only going to get 5 seconds, and we're going to get back to the men's masters. Look at this. Lydia Fish, 284. Lindsay Lane, 252. Emma Harving in third place,
Those are actually the games points that they would have, but either way, that's the...
Oh, shit. Okay, where's the points for here? See, I told you I don't know how to work this thing. Where's the points for this
he has his sorted in a different way than me. But we can see that it's Fish, then Lane, Harving, Fisher, and B-Roth as the top 5. Chloe Wilson has moved all the way up to 7th place. Ellie Hiller, who was in 17th, jumped all the way up to 6th with that performance.
Oh, okay. Chloe Wilson, is that what you said?
No, Ellie Hiller moved from 17th to 6th. Wilson moved from 15th to 7th.
Right. And very close point spread. Oh, the P points, 282, 254, 248, 213, 199, 189, 189. So Chloe Wilson and Ellie Hiller are basically tied. They're 4 100ths of a point apart from each other.
Yeah, and we see Ariel Saunders drop from 2nd down to 9th. So not a great performance, but still within the top 10.
Yeah. If you basically Allison, Ariel, Brianna, Chloe, Ellie Hiller are all in a tie. It's basically it's way too close to tell. They're 5 athletes within 3 points of each other.
Sure.
Oh, exciting! It's going to be good going into the last day.
Well, there's still one more event today.
Back to the old dudes. Yeah, of course. I can't wait. I'm pumped up.
You want to see some heavy weights? That's your stuff.
Yeah, that's my stuff. Yeah, I want to see Hannah Black represent.
She should be exciting to watch on that one. Eamon Coyne continuing to lead here for the Masters men, heat 1 of 3. He has completed 2 full traverses plus 40 feet. In lane 3, Will Abercrombie's 20 feet behind him. Brent Abercrombie has only completed 20 feet so far. Colin Leonard has not completed a single 20-foot section.
Bernie Gannon, Fish and Fisher at the top of the rankings here. Something smells fishy. Kristen Kettler, Bernie, you must be a dad. Jamie Latimer, I think this is for you, Brian. Is Tyler Watkins going to do a full ranking with Masters included? Oh, or maybe are you going to do a full ranking with Masters included?
For this particular event, we talked about it because all of them are doing the same. I think I mentioned that when you weren't on the stream. But yeah, I did talk to him about the possibility of doing that since everyone in all 4 divisions is doing the exact same thing.
How did Caroline Klutz do on this handstand, this rewalk?
Give me 1 second. Caroline Klutz finished 3rd in the Masters division. Her time was 6:18, so that was 2 seconds better than Chloe Wilson's time. I think that would have been best 7th amongst the elite field.
Yeah. And she's still in first place. I just pulled up the leaderboard. I didn't wait for you to yell at me. See, I'm learning. She has, wow. Oh, but it hasn't been updated. It has not been updated.
6 minutes out of 10 have gone on this one. In the screen there, going to the right, is Will Abercrombie. He's second place in this heat right now, still trailing Eamon Coyne.
That is one of the stories we definitely do want to follow. There is a very good chance that at the end of the day, end of the 3 days here at the Crash Crucible, we're going to see that a woman from the Masters division could have won the entire thing. She could have won the elite female. And I think it's a great story and one that we will stay on top of for you from event to event. Her name is Caroline Klutz.
Eamon Coyne missing again. This is Brent Abercrombie attempting the stairs on his first pass. This is the worst quality from Hiller's Cam we've had all day.
I have a theory.
Sabotaging the Masters men.
I just think it's the middle of the day and more people are using the internet now. So more packets flying around on the World Wide Web and just slows everything down.
Coyne able to lock in that 20-foot section. He's done 3 full traverses plus 40 feet. That means that he has 80 feet to go. There's 2 minutes and 45 seconds to the time cap. The next 40 feet should be the easiest 40 feet of the remaining 80.
So he significantly moved one of the moguls and it still counted.
You can bump into the moguls. If you come off your hands, that's a problem. And
okay.
No rep, but then you must go back and replace it after you bump it. That's what the blue lines are there for.
Right.
Coyne, 4 of 5 traverses done with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. If you do 1 traverse every 2 minutes, you'd finish it right at the 10-minute mark. So he theoretically has time, but of course the fatigue is also setting in. Will Abercrombie in the no-shirt white shorts is 40 feet behind Eamon. They're the first and second in the heat. Colin Leonard, I think, is having a little bit of a wrist thing, so he's not going to even finish any work on this. And Brent Abercrombie still unable to get up over the stairs on his first try.
Rambler, everything is hardwired except for the one roaming camera. And the roaming camera, ironically, is usually our best footage.
Another 20 feet in the books for Eamon Coyne. 1:15 to go, 40 feet to go. He has struggled a little bit with the moguls on the last pass down the floor. Colin Leonard is actually giving it an attempt here. He's done nothing for the last 7 minutes or so. And he's up the ramp and down the ramp, and he gets 20 feet on the board out of nowhere.
Wow.
And a big ovation from the crowd, and he smiles.
Was that only his second attempt?
Maybe. Eamon Coyne over the moguls in one pass. He's got 40 seconds and 20 feet to go. I think this is one good effort away from finishing. If I were him, I would wait till about 20 seconds to go. Give myself a chance to finish it in one try. 25 seconds to the cap. And then with 22 seconds to go, he kicks up. He's at the top of the stairs. He's down. And 950 on the board. Eamon Coyne finishing in heat 1 for the men. Great execution there at the end for Eamon. And that's time. Will Abercrombie coming up 40 feet short, so he'll get 13 of the 15 reps. Brent Abercrombie with 1. Brent Abercrombie with 2, and Colin Leonard with 1.
Yep, only one camera, Philip. Only one camera is on the Wi-Fi. Only one phone in that entire place. No one in there has access to the Wi-Fi. Only one camera is on the Wi-Fi. No one's even phone is on the Wi-Fi. And the whole place was rewired. It'll be fine. It's just this time of day. It'll be fine. It'll fix itself here shortly. We'll get back to the 480 stream here shortly. Heat number 1 of the Masters, event number 3 in the books. It's done. Brent Abercrombie, Will Abercrombie, Eamon Colin have finished. Eamon Coyne, thank you. They are done. Colin Leonard done. And the next 4 gentlemen are up. One of my favorite names at Crash Crucible today will be in this heat. Chad Cackert.
Not Travis Flanagan?
I like Flanagan, but I just like saying Cackert.
Not Corey Bromery?
It's another good name. It's all good names. I love an Irving Hernandez. You know how many of those there must be in the phone book in California? I think I know an Irving Hernandez. I think one used to work at CrossFit Inc.
You ever drink this stuff?
No, I've seen Hiller drink it. It has like a minuscule amount of sugar in it. Minuscule. So I was giving him a hard time. But I've been wanting to try it. Yeah, I think it does.
Oh, there's no, of course, that's not on this. It's probably on the pack, not on each individual bottle.
Isn't it weird that there's something called Liquid Death and that's the marketing angle on it? Here's the guys frozen in time.
Heat 2 of 3, Masters Men, day 2 of competition at Crash Crucible. This is the retour. Every individual athlete. Oh, okay. Chad Cackert is wearing sandals, Sevan.
Wow.
Sandals.
I knew I liked them. Back in the day, we called those thongs. Thongs.
No. They're the double strap. One across the knuckles of the toe, one across the
Jesus
ankle.
shoes. Like Jesus shoes. Something Jesus would
No.
wear.
You just tie those up with some leather that you find laying around and a piece of a tire or something like that. Either way, I had to interrupt myself for that. So this is the retour. This is a 300-foot handstand walk. You got to go over a bunch of obstacles. Every 20-foot section must be done unbroken. You have to pass down the entire floor 5 times to get to 300 feet, 60 feet per pass. Top time we saw from the first heat was 9:50. Top time we saw from the women earlier today was 4:15. Ellie Hiller. Same exact event. Left to right on your screen, Corey Bromery, Chad Cackert, Irving Hernandez, and Travis Flanagan. Chad Cackert comes in 5th after day 1. Irving Hernandez 6th. Bromery 7th, and Flanagan 8th.
Cackert's sprinting. Hey, do you have to wear shoes? Oh, my God. Cackert's going the whole 60. Cackert's doing the whole 60, 59, 60 feet.
22 seconds for 60 feet, faster than any of the women that we saw, including those times that were in the 4-minute and 20-second range.
I love seeing an upside-down Cackert run.
Lydia Fish had the fastest time, 3:39. My fault on that.
Oh, well, you got it right in the last stream, just so you know. When you closed the last episode, I heard you had it right. Maybe you had her time wrong, but you had the name right, and that's all that matters. Where is Cackert? Did we lose it? Oh, there he is. Dead center, Cackert, 80 feet completed. Wow.
Irving Hernandez currently 2nd in the heat. You see him on the stairs there on the right, working on his 3rd section on the first pass across the floor. 60 feet in the books for Hernandez. In the far back there with the black shorts is Travis Flanagan, attempting the same section as Hernandez.
And Cackert completes 120 feet.
He does that just as Flanagan completes 60. Brommery continuing to work on the moguls for the first time, hands on the hips in the middle of the floor. Irving Hernandez is kicked back up to his second stair course. If he finishes this, that'll be 80 feet out of 300 done. Packard, you're going to see come flying into the screen on the other side, going straight from the ramp into the moguls on his third pass across the floor, but he stumbles on the moguls there.
Disgusting. Come on, Cackert. Hey, do you have to wear shoes in this event, Brian? Could you do it barefoot? Why wear shoes?
I do think you have to wear shoes.
All right. I'm trying to remember. I don't think in the Olympics you have to wear shoes. Do you know that? You can do your events barefoot.
For the swimming?
Just for anything. I mean, I know the track and field events you can go barefoot.
I wonder if you're allowed to wear shoes for swimming.
That's another good question. Oh, my God. 3 rounds done.
That's at the 2:55 mark. So after 22 seconds for the first 2 passes across the floor, it took him 2.5 minutes to do the next 2 passes across the floor.
Cackert with 120 feet remaining. 7 minutes remaining to get it completed in. He will not be beating Lydia Fish's record no matter what. Looks like someone's offering Brian some MDMA. That should change up the broadcast a little bit. Brian turns his camera off as he swigs down two pills of Molly and
salt. It's just salt for the throat.
Oh.
Nobody saw that, right?
No, not at all. I want to bring this other camera in, but I think it just does still shots. It's about 3 frames per second when we need 24 frames per second.
Yeah, I tried to reload it, but no luck. I don't know why it's so choppy today.
Well, it's been great up until this point. So
Okay. This group over here, it's a pretty packed house.
Oh, packed house of people? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so you'll probably see them all frozen in a minute. I did a little pan over them, but super choppy.
You see any kids there, Souza? You see any kids at the event?
Oh yeah, lots of kids. Definitely
Good,
like a family event. Yeah, for sure.
Chad
Mike,
Cackert, 4 of 5 passes done at the 4:30 mark. He's got 60 feet remaining.
Mike Poolboy, welcome to the show. Is this the Rogue Invitational? Well, yes, it is. Glad you could be here.
Cackert with the ramps done on the last pass across the floor. And again, he's going to attempt to go into the moguls. This did not pay off for him the last time across. He looks much better this time across. At the 5:10 mark, he has 20 feet remaining. The only finisher in Heat 1 was Eamon Coyne at 9:50. Second in the heat right now is Irving Hernandez. Travis Flanagan now has tied him up. They're both on their third pass across the floor. So Cackert has lapped them, basically. Flanagan attempting to go from the ramps to the mogul and taking a tumble in the far lane. Cackert on his last 20 feet here. If he gets this, it'll be the new time to beat with 1 heat remaining. 5:38 for Cackert. Comes
Not
in
bad.
5th today. That's a very good score. Likely that not all 4 men in the final heat can match that, and he'll probably be picking up some points relative to the leaders. Brommery, who struggled on the ramp for a while, has now made it down 1 time. He's still working his way on the stairs, back the other direction. Hernandez and Flanagan are on the exact same section at moguls on their third pass across the floor. Flanagan gets it done. Hernandez gets it done a few seconds after him.
Cackert with the
Hey,
win.
did the quality improve at all?
Significantly. It's amazing.
You want to know what I did?
What?
I turned off Wi-Fi.
Wow. So that's just using the cell service in there that everyone else is using?
Yeah. I just figured I'd try it and see what happened, and
Doesn't even
obviously it
make
worked.
sense.
I know.
Even make
I
sense.
know.
Flanagan makes the first attempt relative to Hernandez. Doesn't pay off for him. Hernandez giving it a shot now. 3
Ladies and
minutes
gentlemen,
until the time cap.
You may not know this, but when you watch Flanagan go upside down, you are watching the largest man on planet Earth try to handstand walk at 9:27 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on planet Earth. So you are part of something very unique.
Rest pays off for Hernandez there. Gets the 20 feet done. 20 feet lead on Flanagan currently. Flanagan with another miss.
Oh, thank you, Hiller Cam, for panning over to get the action. Oh, I wonder if that music's going to fuck us.
Flanagan and Bromley with multiple failed attempts here. Hernandez on his fourth trip across the floor, working on the stairs, fighting for it.
Yeah,
Great shot there from Souza.
Wow.
Has to get across the red for that effort to count, and he does it. 20 more feet for him, 100 feet to go. 1:45 to the time cap for Hernandez. Unlikely he'll finish under the cap, but he can certainly knock out a few more sections.
Is this Flanagan's last trip?
No. He's now 40 feet behind Hernandez. Hernandez enters the day 6th overall. We've only had 2 finishers so far, Chad Cackert and Eamon Coyne. Will Abercrombie came within 40 feet of doing so currently would be in the 3rd best position. Hernandez would currently be 4th of the 8 men who've tried this so far in the Masters men's division.
Oh, my goodness. Down goes Irving. Incredible. Wow, Flanagan makes it.
Leaves no doubt. Wanted to make sure he did not get called back for a no rep there by not getting across the line. So 3 of the 5 passes complete for him. That's 180 of the 300 required feet. There's only 20 seconds to the cap, so everyone should have one last attempt here. Romery's not going to get it, so he'll end up getting 3 out of 5 sections, which is actually better than Leonard and Brent Abercrombie did. Hernandez and Flanagan both on the last attempt here, and Flanagan gets it with 2 seconds to go, so he and Hernandez will end up at the same spot in terms of the number of reps as time cap hits.
Flanagan came back over the stairs after we saw him struggle so hard going. Wow.
So 10 out of 15 sections complete for both Flanagan and Hernandez.
Cackert, the winner. What are you at, 5:38? Good work, Souza. Flanagan, Irving. That was only 3. Is one man still on the court? He snuck by. Oh, there he is. Corey. That was Corey
heat
Bromer.
to go. Yeah, very good. 1 heat to go for the Masters men on event 3. These are going to be your top 4 men after yesterday. Again, the closest athlete supposed to be in lane 2. That's going to be Mark Hutchinson, 3rd place after day 1. Next to him will be Hudson Fricky wearing the white leaders jersey tank top there. He's in lane 3. Elijah Muhammad, 2nd place after day 1, will be in lane 4. And Kyle Ruth, 4th place coming into day number 2 in lane number 5.
To help you guys put some perspective on that, Hudson Freaky with 192, Elijah Muhammad 153 points, Mark Hutchinson 151, and Kyle Ruth with 146. So about a 45-point spread between first place and fourth place. And Hudson does have a nice lead with 30 points.
And a majority of that, in fact, he earned 29 of those 30 points separation relative to the entire field on event 1 yesterday, when he beat everyone by several minutes, actually. And in a performance-based scoring system, elite level performances on specific tests are rewarded in that regard. And Fricky leveraging that to a big lead after 1 day of competition. However, the skills that will be tested today are very different from yesterday. And as we've seen in the previous divisions who's competed, there's a big opportunity for athletes, as we saw Ellie Hiller come from 17th all the way up to 6th, Chloe Wilson come from 15th all the way up to 7th, and other athletes drop from 2nd down to 9th. So nothing's safe in this scoring format. You still have to be good across the board and execute on every one of these tests. I don't know if you can see it on your end, Sevan, but a very intimidating hairstyle from Elijah Muhammad in lane number 4.
Well, I saw him standing close to the starting line, all postured up and shit. He just looks like a beast. Look, he's doing the double knuckles. No sandals, no thongs, no slippers in this heat.
And the leader jersey's coming off.
Yep. I see the beloved Paper Street logo in the background. Code word Sevan to get a discount. Significant discount. Paper Street, don't spell out street, paperstcoffee.com.
Heat 3 of 3 for the Masters men's. Event number 3, day number 2, Crash Crucible 2023. This is the retour. We've seen variations of long-distance handstand walking at the CrossFit Games in 2014, 16, and 18. J.R. Howell is once again up to the ante here. Every section must be done in 20-foot unbroken. It's a ramp, set of moguls in the middle, and then stair, as you see Hutchinson completing that there. Hudson Fricky, 60 feet unbroken to start. Elijah Muhammad taking a stumble on the moguls.
And Freaky may have done that as fast as we saw Chad Cackert do it on the previous round.
He did, but he took a big break in allowing Mark Hutchinson to pass him by. We'll see if Hudson stays on his hands once again. And so far, that does appear to be the case. So it's Fricky and Hutchinson out front here in this heat. Kyle Ruth has finished 60 feet, and Easy Muhammad working on his third 20-foot section.
Guys, Freaky is no joke, buddy. This is something. Pacing it properly, taking the breaks he needs on either end to rest the shoulders, the wrist, the hands. Not bothered that Hutchinson's taking off before him.
No, different strategies, but they're the same point in the event so far, having completed 40% of the required work. Ruth and Elijah Muhammad at a similar point on the other side of the floor. Ruth now with 20 feet ahead of Muhammad as Fricky and Hutchinson kick up at the same time, but once again, Hutchinson opting to come down while Hudson stays on his hands. And Hudson going for a third unbroken pass, which this is unprecedented relative to anyone we've seen so far. And it doesn't
Down
pay
goes
off.
Freaky. Down goes Freaky.
Now Hudson and Hutchinson are at the exact same point once again. And they're talking to each other and laughing about it.
What's Freaky doing? He's walking the moguls. Why is he walking the moguls?
I mean, he's going to have to take a little bit of a rest anyway. Hutchinson joked with him, you missed that? And then he just turns around and kicks it up. Hutchinson now with half of a section lead over Hudson. 60% of the work done for Mark, 60% of the work done for Hudson. And we got a little bit of a battle on our hands here. Different strategies, but same place in the workout.
Was that a chest bump? Did he try to do a chest bump with Freaky?
I think he was asking who had the bigger chest.
Oh, my goodness. And he's up. Hutchinson's up. He's posturing on Freaky like, hey, buddy, no rest needed. Woo.
2:40 has elapsed on the clock. We did have an impressive time in the previous heat from Chad Cackert of 5:38. The only other finisher came in the first heat, which was Eamon Coyne. Hudson stays up on his hands again, and the elbow gives, and he comes down. Hutchinson yet to make a mistake. That's 2 missed attempts for Hudson, and he's walking the entire course again to shake it off.
Mark Hutchinson, when he finished at the 80-foot mark, he looked back and waved Freaky in. He's like, come on, bring it.
Hutchinson, third after day one, first in the heat right now, attempting to chip into that 30-point lead that Hudson has over the other three guys in this heat. Elijah Muhammad and Kyle Ruth also competing. We'll catch up with them in a bit as Hutchinson is looking to not only win this heat, but possibly also set the fastest time so far that we've seen. Of course, he's doing the same event as the women did earlier. Lydia Fish's time has already passed by.
Man, that's impressive.
Hudson stays up on his feet. Hutchinson with his first mistake. An opportunity for another lead change here. Hudson gets it done, and that time the risk pays off. Hutchinson with a little bit of urgency, realizing that the lead has just been taken back from him, that he worked hard to take from Hudson to begin with. 280 feet done for both men, 20 feet to go, 4:20 on the clock. Ellie Hiller's time has passed. Calista Lang's time has passed, so the top three individual elite women were faster than these guys. Hudson with his last attempt here, and this is for another event win, 4:29. Hudson Freaky locks up another win. Hutchinson on his last stair combo, 5 feet to go. Establishes balance, and he's in at the 4:47 mark, so a great effort this morning for Hutchinson. And they're having fun and doing quite well out there. Chad Cackert's 5:38 is going to be the third best time. And for Muhammad and Ruth, this is going to be quite interesting to see what happens, because the next finisher was Eamon Coyne at 9:50, and the other 6 men did not finish. So there's a huge spread here from best to worst. The median score and the way the points get distributed is going to be extremely fascinating to see across a field of 12. I think that Muhammad is ahead of Ruth at this point.
God, he looks good. It looks like it's easy for him. It's interesting to see how far this handstand walking has evolved already in the CrossFit space, when it's just come from being able to do it to actually like running on your hands. Now we're seeing some like freakish speed from people upside down.
Chad Cackert will take third place. 5:38 is passed by. 6 minutes on the clock. Currently 4 minutes to the time cap. Easy Muhammad kicking up once again. He's on the stair combo, generally the hardest combo, and he has a missed attempt there. Not happy with himself for it. Back on the other side of the floor, Kyle Ruth kicking up. He's on his last pass across the floor. He's working on the ramp combo. Has seemingly been the easiest of the 3 sections for competitors today. That's done. So 40 feet should be remaining for Ruth.
Elijah sitting down on one of the moguls.
Yeah, I think he's kind of committed here to making sure that the next effort is the one that counts. And we've seen people fail on this with short breaks over time. Hopefully this rest pays off for him.
He's looking at the clock, so clearly he has a game plan, right? He's like, okay, every 30 seconds I'm going to go up again.
He gets to the top. There's no guarantee that that's nope, and he comes back down, just basically barely losing the balance there. Kyle Ruth struggling on the moguls. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to the cap. Off camera, Hudson Fricky putting the leader jersey back on, letting Hutchinson know that he won that one as well.
Huh.
Another missed attempt on the moguls for Ruth. 2.5 minutes to the time cap. Easy going to give it another go. Locks that in. That was only his third pass across the floor. So 180 feet done, 120 feet remaining as Muhammad is struggling here on event 3. Still can finish towards the middle of the Masters field overall, however. The next 2 minutes are huge for Elijah Muhammad. Both Flanagan and Hernandez finished this next 20-foot section. If he can finish 40 feet here, that will pay off big time for Muhammad as the 12 men distribute across the performance-based scoring method. Ruth, on the other hand, is approaching becoming the next finisher on this. Eamon Coyne's time of 9:50 is the time that he's looking to beat. That's a minute and 20 seconds off. That's a good 20 feet for easy, and we've seen this a few times, Sevan, where struggling going over the stairs to get to the end, a short turnaround, and then athletes are hitting the stairs on the way back with relative ease.
Yeah, Flanagan especially, right? I mean, he struggled going the one direction.
Very similar to what we saw from Easy, yes.
It's identical, though. It shouldn't be that way, right?
Ruth gets it done at the 9-minute mark, so that's another finisher on the board. He'll take 4th place amongst the men. Easy is working on that mogul section. This is a huge section for him. If he finishes it, that'll put him ahead of both Flanagan and Hernandez in terms of total reps completed. He gets it. And he should be attempting this last ramp. There's 35 seconds to the time cap. As we've been saying, it's the easiest of the 3 sections for almost all of the athletes. It would be an extra section relative to those other guys because Hernandez, Flanagan, Abercrombie, Bromley, and Leonard also have not finished this. Abercrombie has actually done 3 more sections than Muhammad currently. And a missed attempt there for Easy. 15 seconds to go. Last attempt for him. And a little tumble. So he'll finish with 11 out of 15 sections, which will beat both Hernandez and Flanagan by 1. Also better than Leonard, Bromley, and Abercrombie. So he's basically in the middle of the men's field. Should be probably around the 45-point mark is my guess. When we see the distribution, we'll know for sure.
And that keeps his podium dreams alive, right?
Definitely.
That was very important, that last trip.
I think so. I think definitely. And we're going to see him with a barbell later today, which we know he excels at. I'm going to take a quick break. This tea is going straight through me before the individual elite men start.
Take a break. Enjoy your break. See if we can get some audio here.
Oh, no, I was like mixed emotions. I'm competitive.
He said he's competitive, but that's his best friend, so he was just having fun with him out there. Like, he still wants to win, but at the same time, he just wants to, like, hang out and have a good time.
Oh, their training partners, Mark Hutchinson and Hudson Freaky.
Yeah, he said, he's like, that guy's my best friend, so we're just out here having a good time.
Awesome. All right, they're not wasting any time, and they're going straight to the men's elite.
Indies. Are we going to let this just run with angles, or are you going to announce to these heats as well?
I think I'll wait till I think can we get that Hiller cam to be a little bit wider, or I could pull up both cameras. Let me see if I can pull up both cameras. Let me see if I can do this.
Well, the other one dropped because we wanted to save some bandwidth, but we could go wide with Hillers and let that run for these first couple of heats, and then come back on for the final 2 minutes.
They both look good. If I can, let me see if I can do. Both cameras look good. Oh,
yeah.
Or we can you set yours down and just not deal with it and just let it stream?
Yeah.
Can we go wider with Hillers? How much wider can we go with Hillers?
Stand by.
Because we're not getting the stairs.
Hiller. Hold on.
Mr. Friend is back.
Are you going to stay for the early heats of the men or not?
No, I'm not. I'm going to take a little break again. I think it's better for me.
That's as wide as we got with Hiller's shot.
Then I will see you for heat number 5.
Okay, Brian, are you going to stay for this?
Yep.
Okay, you got a little bit of a problem because you don't have a camera angle on the finish line.
Why not?
Because
I can put someone, but why can't I put someone on Hiller's cam? We have bodies that are willing to do the work.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so someone will. Okay, perfect. Okay, great.
Is Hiller taking a break?
I have no idea. Hey, Souza.
Yes.
You can take a break now. Let's come back, and I'll tell you when we'll come back. We'll come back at.
Hey, come back for the 13:38 one. Or do you want to do 1351?
I'm on the wrong page. Hold on. Sorry. Let me look.
There are seven heats, so I'm asking you if you want to come back for the last 2 or the last 3 for the men.
Oh yeah, I can come. Let's come back for the last 3.
All right, I'll see you then.
So what is that? That's 138. 1338 is 138.
Yes.
And for me, that is. I'll figure it out. All right, cool. Thank you. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Heat 1 of 7 for the men. 3 athletes in this heat. Lane 2 is Ryan Haynes. Lane 3, no shirt on, Graham Winchester. Lane 4, Leonel Franco. Pretty even heat for these guys so far. All of them are done with 100 feet. Two trips done for Haynes and Winchester. Franco working on the ramp, and he'll join them. 40% of the work done for all 3 guys. Haynes and Winchester kick up simultaneously. Ryan Haynes taking the lead here on event 1, or heat 1 of event 3, excuse me. He's done 3 full trips across the floor, working on his 4th traverse. You got to finish 5. Each trip across the entire floor is 60 feet, 300 feet required. Franco and Haynes at the same point in the event there. Winchester 20 feet behind Franco. Haynes gets the moguls done on his 4th trip. Franco working on them now. Unable to complete that section. Winchester kicking up to the stairs, unable to successfully do that. Haynes on the ramp on the other side of the floor. Franco completes the moguls, goes straight into the ramp at the 5-minute mark, halfway through the time cap here. Doesn't pay off for him as he kicks back down. Haynes will kick up to attempt that same section. Winchester taking a big break at the far side of the floor. Franco overtaking Haynes for the lead in this heat. Was behind both of the men in this heat earlier today, now leading. Winchester successful on the stairs there. Big break paying off for him. Leo heading back over the ramp as Haynes misses again. Probably the most difficulty we've seen any athlete have on the ramp late in this event, as it usually ends up being the easiest part of the three, especially as the arms fatigue. Winchester's now caught up to him as Haynes finally locks that one in. 4 minutes remain to the time cap. This is the first of 7 heats for the elite individual men. Event number 3, day number 2, Crash Crucible 2023. Haynes has caught back up to Franco, both men with 40 feet remaining. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to the time cap, and Winchester has now caught up. Winchester very good on the ramp in the moguls, struggles a bit on the stairs. Franco working on the stairs. This is his last 20-foot section. Loses his balance at the top and comes back down. Haynes working over the moguls, and he's at the same point as Franco. Winchester attempting to catch up to both men in this heat. All 3 men at the same point. Only the stair-stair combo to go. 2.5 minutes to the time cap. Haynes goes down. Winchester comes down. Franco's on his way down the stairs on the other side, looking to finish. 7:40, Leo Franco. Time to beat in heat number 1. 6 heats remaining. Came from behind. He was trailing both Winchester and Haynes early in this one, but takes the top time in heat number 1. Not the day one he was looking for, but does understand that in this scoring system you can turn the tables quickly. So getting a score on the board early here, huge for Lionel Franco. Winchester, the stairs have been the problem for him late in this one. Another missed attempt there. 1 minute, 45 seconds to the time cap.
Like all the things he's eating all of you guys. I like it pretty right away. I'm like,
Almost pig train time. Sarah Cooper. We'll see Colton in heat 6 a little while from now. 1 minute to the time cap. Haynes and Winchester again attempting the stairs, and Haynes comes down, and that could have been very distracting visually for Winchester, but he maintains focus. 9:12. Winchester in with the time on the board. Nice finish for him there. Likely one last attempt here for Haynes. Many missed attempts in the back half of this one after a pretty good opening 4 minutes or so. I think that good lesson to keep in mind as the heats continue to roll on here. It's a lot of effort for a missed attempt on these. Taking those breaks and making sure you get it is oftentimes worth it. He has to go for it here with only 10 seconds to go. So Haynes is going to come up one section short on event 3. Lionel Franco, 7:40 will be the time to beat as heat 2 gets set to take the floor. Time cap done for heat number 1. Heat 2 of 7 for the individual men are taking the floor. Lane 1 will be closest to us. This is going to be a heat of 5. All the rest of the heats will be heats of 5. Caden Myers, lane 1. Molanza Haynes, lane 2. Roman Burkon, lane 3. Frank Minervini, lane 4. Rankin Holt, lane 5. Five seconds. Heat 2 of 7 for the elite individual men. This is event 3, a rewritten version of a 300-foot handstand walk with some obstacles that you see there on the floor. Left to right on your screen, Caden Meyer, Molanza Haynes, Roman Burkon, Frank Minervini, and Rankin Holt. All of the men done with the ramp. Moguls introduced for the first time by J.R. Howell to a CrossFit competition. Minervini in the yellow, the only man to not finish the moguls on the first pass so far. Hayden Myers in the blue, Molanza Haynes in the white. Myers done, and Holt, Rankin Holt on the far side of the floor, the early leaders in this one. Hayden Myers wearing his CrossFit Games jersey from this past year. He finished 5th place in the boys 16 to 17 division. One of 2 athletes from the teenage boys divisions this past year at the games who's competing here. Ty Jenkins, the champion in that division, the other one. And Myers was placed in the third of the last heat yesterday. And he had a good performance, all things considered, against a tough heat. Here he's off to the lead, and he just takes a little stumble on the moguls. It's off camera there. He resets them and he'll go again. Just quite didn't get his hand high enough. Far side of the floor, Rankin Holt in no shirt is kicking up as well. So Myers and Holt, the leaders here, as Burkon and Molanza Hayes are 20 feet behind them. Molanza Hayes with the U.S. Army Warrior Fitness Team. He finishes up the moguls on his second trip across the floor as Myers and Holt finish 120 of the 300 required feet. Roman Burkon stumbling over the last mogul. Can he fight for it? Yes, he gets it done. A great save there by Burkon. As Minervini in the yellow, the last man to kick up on this section, and he trips over the first mogul right away. Holt stumbles on the ramp on the far side of the screen as Meyer checks that off the list. He's working back down the floor on his 3rd of 5th traverses. .740 the time from Leo Franco, the early time to beat from heat number 1. We're currently at the 2 minutes and 40-second mark, so 5 minutes to go till that. Caden Myers checks off the moguls on trip number 3. 140 feet remaining. He's past the halfway mark in terms of distance, but the stair combo here at the end of trip 3 and coming back to trip 4 have been a critical part of this event for a lot of athletes. Meyer locks that one in. Heats were reshuffled after day number 1. These athletes were ranked 26th through 30th. Burkhan 26, Minervini 27, Haynes 28, Holt 29, Myers 30 to start the day. Myers in the blue currently leading. Hayes in the white has now caught up to him. So Hayes and Myers tied for the heat lead here. 3 out of 5 passes done. So they must go all the way down and back to finish the 300 feet. We're at the 4-minute mark. Myers takes over the lead from Hayes once again. Clean pass on the moguls there. 80 feet remaining for Myers. Goes back to his mogul as he's instructed to do. It's okay if you bump into him, but you're supposed to go back and replace them where they were after doing so. Myers continues to lead. No shirt. Hayes has stripped the shirt off. He's currently second in the heat. 100 feet remaining for Hayes. 60 feet remaining for Myers. We're at the 5-minute mark. 5 minutes to go. 7:40 from heat number 1 of Lionel Franco is the time to beat so far. Another 20 feet checked off for Myers. 40 feet remain for him. Hayes maintaining a slight lead over Holt and Minervini, who are both 20 feet behind him, ranked Roman Burkhan 20 feet behind Minervini and Holt. Myers unable to get that left hand over the second mogul. He's forced to come down as Hayes heads the other way. A nice clean pass for Hayes. Very controlled on that one. 80 feet remaining for Hayes. 40 feet remaining for Myers. 120 feet remaining for Holt and Minervini. 140 feet remaining for Burkhan. Holt now has taken a 20-foot lead over Minervini as you see him finish the stair on the far side there. Myers, 20 feet to go, 4 minutes remaining, 1:40 until Lionel Franco's time to beat from heat 1. Myers, last 20-foot section here. It's the stair combo, intentionally placed here at the end of this 300-foot traverse. J.R. Howell knowing that this is the most difficult for most of the athletes, testing the highest skill under the most fatigue. Myers' third attempt at this last 20-foot section, and it's successful. 6:58. New time to beat Hayden Myers. Besting Lionel Franco 7:40 by 42 seconds. Exactly what he needed here on day 2. Malanza Haynes next in this heat currently. He's got a 20-foot lead on Minervini and Holt, who you see finishing his 4th and 5 60-foot traverses across the floor. 40 feet remain for Hayes. 60 feet remain for Minervini and Holt. Now Minervini catching Hayes as Hayes looks to maintain that lead as he heads over the moguls. Moguls have generally been smooth for Hayes, and once again he's able to check those off. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to the clock, 20 feet to go. Takes a risk and kicks up quickly. See if he's able to execute here, and he's not as he gets his fingers. He kind of smiles and laughs, knowing that he was going for it a bit there. Minervini had started slowly, but he's methodically picked off Burkhan and Holt. Now he's neck and neck with Hayes. Leo Franco's time of 7:40 has passed by. Hayes gets in at the 8:20 mark. Alonzo Hayes, very strong individual. Excited to see him on the thruster ladder later today. Minervini on his last 20-foot section, and he stumbles. Holt is now caught up to him. So Holt and Minervini in the yellow and shirtless with 20 feet to go. Roman Burkhan has 100 feet remaining as he's heading the opposite direction. One minute to the time cap for Heat 2 of the individual elite men. Frank Minervini in the yellow there attempting to get a score underneath the time cap, and he does it. 9:06 for Minervini. In Heat 1, Leonel Franco finished in 7:40. Graham Winchester 9:12 for Minervini. 6 seconds better than Winchester. Third in this heat behind Myers and Hayes. Holt looking to sneak in under the time cap. 40 seconds until that mark, and this is his last feat of handstand walking. 9:25 for Rankin Holt. That leaves Roman Burkhan on the field of play. 60 feet remaining in 30 seconds. Likely will not be able to get all 60 feet done, but potentially one last effort over the ramp with 20 seconds to the time cap for Roman Burkhan. Smooth there, 9:52 on the clock, so he's not going to get the last two sections. 13 out of 15 sections completed for Roman, and that'll put a cap on event Heat 2 for the men. Heat 3 of 7 elite men at the Crash Crucible 2023 Read Tour are on the floor. Less than 1 minute until they're starting. We've got a heat of 5 here, left to right on your screen. Jackson Drohan will be wearing black t-shirt. Drake Lewis, yellow t-shirt. No shirt in the middle of the floor, Wes Peters. Lane number 4 in the white and white headband, Nick Reed. And farthest away from us, Ryan Jevning, lane number 5 in the blue and black. 300 feet of handstand walking is the task that needs to be accomplished. Fastest man to do it so far is not even old enough to vote. Caden Myers, 17 years old, 6:57. Leonel Franco from heat number 1, 7:40. We saw Hudson Fricky, who's a local athlete here from Crash, put up a great time for the Masters men earlier today. Everyone's doing the same test. Hudson's time was 4:29. Jackson Drohan also trains here at Crash. He's in lane number 1 and could be a little bit of a dark horse pick here to have a great score. He, Lewis, and Peters all opting to go for at least 40 feet unbroken. Lewis, the only one amongst them who's continuing to go up the stair and attempt the 60-foot unbroken section. He's going to get that done successfully in 24 seconds. Drohan, 26 seconds. Peters, 27 seconds. That's the fastest combination of three men we've seen across the floor in any heat, male, female, or masters or otherwise. Stumble for Drohan there on the moguls. Lewis and Peters both cleared the moguls and have 100 feet done already. Ryan Jevning now at the same section as Drohan. You see him in the background. He has not been as aggressive, taking good transitions, but has yet to make any mistakes. We have seen athletes that take that approach and chip away at their heat where early leaders get fatigued. Wes Peters now the leader, heading back down the floor 20 feet, and he's going to roll right into the obstacles again for the moguls. Moguls complete on the third pass for Peters. Drake Lewis is looking to join him, and he'll do that. So Peters and Lewis continuing to lead Heat 3 here for the elite men as Jevning and Drohan kick up at the same time on their third pass across the floor. Nick Reed back at the pack here, 80 feet done for him. Two minutes on the clock currently. Peters is 60% of the way done with this one as he's going to be kicking back and coming back into frame, starting his fourth traverse across the floor. 5 total traverses needed, 60 feet per traverse, 20 feet per section, 3 sections per length. Lewis and Drohan, who's now caught back up to Lewis, will both finish the 180 foot at the same time as Jevning on the far side, 20 feet behind them. Peters 40 feet ahead. 2.5 minutes have passed. Peters now passing Nick Reed. Peters on his fourth traverse as Reed is on his second. Wes Peters, 40 feet to go. We're just now hitting the 3-minute mark. The fastest time any person has had today is Lydia Fish at 3:39. He misses on the moguls there, which probably means that 3:39 is out of the question. But in terms of his division, 6:57 from Caden Myers is the best we've seen. Peters, 20 feet to go. Only 3 minutes and 20 seconds have elapsed. Lewis off camera missing. Drohan has passed him by. Drohan with 60 feet to go. Lewis with 80 feet to go. Jevning with 100 feet to go. As Wes Peters finishes in 3:34 and an emphatic let's go from Wes Peters. Great start today, too. He came into the day in 21st place. That is going to be massive for him. I'm going to say right now 3:34 is better than Lydia Fish's 3:39. And I don't know if we're going to see a better score than that. What? No, They've given him a no rep and sent him back out onto the competition floor. Okay, so scratch that from Wes Peters. He's got 20 feet remaining as Nick Reed in the white t-shirt finishes 180 feet for himself. And Peters misses again, and this is a big challenge mentally now. He thought he was done. Drohan is now caught up to him. And Drohan's getting a no rep. His judge telling him that he went around the obstacle. You must go over the mogul, cannot go around it. Wes Peters is able to rebound, and 426 will be his official score. Not happy about it. You see him standing with his hands on his hip there. Drohan gets a successful credit on the moguls there. 4:45 on the clock. Still can put a great score on the board. Misses on the stairs there. Lewis is 20 feet behind him. Ryan Jevning has now caught up. We talked about it earlier. Ryan Jevning, big transitions frequently throughout this one, but very little error in terms of execution, while all the other guys have been quicker to kick up, but made more mistakes. Jevning does make a mistake there as Drohan finishes at the 5:15 mark. Draxton Drohan with the second best time we've seen. Only Wes Peters, 4:26 in this heat, finishing ahead of him. Peters talking to his judge about potentially being able to dispute the score. Not sure if he wants to sign this scorecard. He's actually saying he's not going to sign it and handing to his judge as he wants to handing to the head judge to dispute. Not sure what the conversation is there. We'll let scoring handle that. Either way, Peters and Drohan are done. 20 feet remain for Jevning. 40 feet remain for Lewis. As Nick Reed has actually kind of caught up to both Jevning and Lewis. Lewis going for that 60 feet unbroken to start, and it's clearly not paying off for him as he's failing over and over again here on the last pass across the floor. Jevning, despite being very intentional and quite frankly good in his execution up to this point, is getting caught up on this last 20 feet as well. Another miss for Jevning off screen as Lewis gives the Moguls another attempt. Gets him. So Lewis joins Jevning on the last section of this course. Nick Reed attempting to do the same. Nick Reed was way behind these guys at one point. Now all three of them with only 20 feet remaining, 3 minutes and 15 seconds to the time cap. Lewis and Jevning both up on their hands. Lewis in at 650. Jevning with another miss. And now Nick Reed is going to give it an attempt. 650 for Lewis. Also comes in ahead of Caden Meyer's time. And Nick Reed, 709. What a great come-from-behind performance there for Reed. I know he only passed one guy by, but he looked to be potentially not even going to make the time cap. Ends up with a solid score as Jevning gets it done at 720. And for the first time for the men here, we have all of them finishing underneath the time cap. 2.5 minutes till that. I'm going to take a quick restroom break and be back for Heat 4 in a couple minutes. Two events today, SEMA. This is event number 3. We have 4 heats of elite individual men remaining. We'll transition to the second team event, and then all of the individual athletes will take on the thruster ladder later this afternoon. I got a update from the scoring. They have reviewed Wes Peters' scoring appeal. Watched the video, slowed it down. They're going to give him the rep. So 3:34 is the call to beat. I was able to watch the replay myself. I think it was absolutely the right call. There's no necessary showing of control. His hand hit the turf on the other side of the line before the feet came down. So good rep for Wes Peters. 3:34 will be the time to beat. 5:15 Jackson Drohan, the second best time we've seen. Drake Lewis 6:50. Hayden Meyer 6:57. 3 heats are done. 4 heats remaining for the elite male individual. 5 men in this heat. From left to right on your screen, lane 1 will be Bill Leahy. Comes into today 20th overall. Josh Harden, 18th overall. Robert Yates, 16th. Marquand Jones, 17th. Hunter Osmond, 19th. All of these men will be looking to do what Chloe Wilson and Ellie Hill are able to do on the women's side, which is jump from outside the top 10 up inside the top 10 with a good performance on the handstand walk. Jonathan Lane, that was a quick appeal. Yes, it was, but it shouldn't really take that long. You look at one video, you see what you need to see, you make a decision, and you move on. Men's Heat 4 underway, all 5 men up on their hands. Several of them choosing to go for the 40-foot unbroken section. Leahy staying on his hands, going to try to attempt the 60-foot unbroken section. We saw this from Drake Lewis in the last heat. It did not pay off for Drake Lewis. We'll see whether Leahy has a better understanding of his capacity on the back third of this test. That's what really matters. Leahy, quick turnaround at the 30-second mark. He's already working on the stairs the other way. Marquand Jones only about 10 feet behind him. Middle of the floor, Robert Yates about 20 feet behind those guys. Leahy getting called back for going around the mogul. Judge explained to him that we must go over, not around the mogul. It's the trailing hand that tends to be the problem with that. Because of that no rep, Marquand Jones able to overtake Leahy. Jones and Leahy kicking up on the ramp at the 1 minute mark. 120 feet in the books for Leahy and Jones, as Osment and Yates are rep for rep. Yates continuing to go for it over the ramp. Osment kicking down. Another 20 feet good for Leahy. Another 20 feet good for Jones. Josh Harden, the black shorts there, 80 feet done for him. Getting some motivation from Kevin Steinhaus in the crowd, his teammate from this past year at the CrossFit Games, also at Crash Crescendo. Leahy and Jones still step for step at the 1 minute and 43 second mark. They are both done with about 40% of this test. 180 out of 300 feet done. Jones kicks up very quickly. Jones, the oldest man in the men's elite individual field at 33 years old. Bill Leahy, up and coming in this sport, 23 years old. Both of them with 100 feet remaining. They'll be passing by Yates, who's now overtaken Osment. Osment stumbles on the moguls. Yates with 120 feet remaining. Jones up again before Leahy. He gets another 20 feet done. Leahy, very deliberate over the moguls, not wanting to get another no rep here. Clean pass for him. Jones and Leahy with 80 feet remaining. Yates will be kicking up again, heading the other way as Osment looks to join him. Josh Harden with 120 at 300 feet done. We're only at the 2.5 minute mark. With the speed that Jones and Leahy are going at, the other scores might not look that good, but they're really not that bad. It's just that Jones and Leahy are clearly quite proficient on their hands. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. Jones going from ramp straight to moguls, a risky maneuver this late with the fatigue setting in. He saves it there. 20 feet remaining for Jones at the 2:51 mark. 3:34 to the time from Wes Peters after a successful video review appeal. I had a chance to watch that video. Definitely think it was the right call. Leahy 20 feet behind Jones. Jones loses his balance on the top of the stairs, opening the door for Bill. Bill seeing that and kicks up right away. He's going to take the risk and try to take not only the event win, but the heat win, but potentially set the time to beat. Jones 2 steps behind him. Leahy in at 3:18. Jones in at 3:20. Phenomenal performances by both men in heat number 4. Incredible. Leahy 3:18. Jones 3:20. Both men meted that. I mentioned that they had the potential to do something similar to Ellie Hiller and Chloe Wilson, and they both did it. Josh Harden working on his third set of stairs. On the other side of the floor, you have third in his heat, Robert Yates, as Osment is trying to track him down. He's about 30 feet behind at the moment. 60 feet remaining for Yates. Yates, a pretty good day one performance right in the middle of this group of men. 33 total men in this field. 16th place after day one for Yates. 40 feet remaining for him. Only 4 minutes has elapsed. Obviously, Leahy and Jones and Peters are all in. The next time we're looking at is Jackson Drohan at 5:15. So Yates with a minute to go and 40 feet if he wants to best that. Bill Leahy walking off the floor there. Tom Hardy style from Warrior. His business is done. I'll see you guys later. Last 20 seconds or 20 feet here for Yates. 20 seconds to the 5 minute mark. He's looking at 5:15 as Drohan's time. And Yates, great composure. 4:47. Another solid performance on the board for Robert Yates. Very good through 3 events here. 40 feet remaining for Hunter Osment. 5 minutes to go there. Trains out of the Grit House. Competed on their second team this year, but they had 2 teams at the semifinal in North America East. 2 teams registered for Crash Crescendo here last year. 20 feet remaining for him. 5:15 has elapsed. Drohan's time is in safely relative to Osment. 6:50. Drake Lewis, the next time to beat. Most of the men have finished this. Only 2 that we've seen not finish so far. Osment working on his last section here. It's over the obstacles. 5:37 for Osment. Solid performance for him. Josh Harden, also from the Grit House. He was on their top team last year. They had to withdraw from competition, end up 29th place. I believe they would have been top 10 at the games, top 15 at worst, if fully healthy. 20 more feet for Harden.
One more second, guys. Let's go. Let's go when you're ready. Hey, 20 feet.
6:15 has passed by. That next time to beat is still Drake Lewis at 6:50, but a stumble there from Harden. He's going to have to shake that one off. Hayden Meyer, 6:57, another time under 7 minutes. Still potentially within sights for Harden. 30 seconds until the 7 minute mark. Good fight there, but a lot of effort exerted there for Harden. 7 minutes have passed by, so Lewis and Myers' times are in. Kevin Steinhaus from the audience telling him to wait 20 seconds. Nick Reed's time of 7:09 is passed by. Ryan Jevney's time of 7:20 about to pass by as well. Does wait the 20 seconds as instructed by his teammate. Not enough. Harden gets it done at the 8-minute mark. All 5 men in Heat 4 able to finish this one with 2 minutes to spare on the time cap. Jeffrey Birchfield. Do both hands have to clear the tape? Yeah, this is the same rule as it is at every CrossFit competition. The hands, entire footprint of the hands, fingers, and heel of the palm must start behind the thick red tape line that you see. They must traverse whatever the obstacles are, so if it's the ramp, the moguls, or the stairs, and get the entirety of their hands, fingers, and palm past the line. They do not have to show control in that position. They just have to tap them to the ground before the feet come down. That's what happened on the review with Peters that we watched, is that he tapped his left hand on the ground, and a split second later, his feet hit the ground. But when you slowed it down, you saw that that was the case. I will say there have been many close calls. Some of them are captured on video because they're of the leaders or just where the cameras happen to be. But across the floor, it's very close for many of the athletes. I think the judges have done, in large part, a very good job of giving credit when they should and calling them back when they shouldn't. Head judge Lizzie Self stepping in when she needs to. John Young, my friend, how many men or athletes are having trouble going outside the mogul? A few. We have seen on camera some of those. Jackson Drohan and Bill Leahy have both gotten called back for one. There have been a couple others. They're not always in frame. It hasn't been called too often. They're fairly wide. It's usually the trailing hand that they try to sneak around the outside, but not too many overall. 3 heats remain for the elite individual men. Our host, Sevan, should be back in here shortly.
I'm here, baby. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. Mike McDonald rocking the CEO, baby.
That was very loud in my ears, but glad to have you back.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back. I'll lower my mic just a smidgy.
You didn't happen to watch the last heat, did you?
No.
Well, let me give you a quick recap. We had an epic battle, a really, really impressive battle that yielded the 2 fastest times that we've seen, male, female, masters, or elite. It was between Bill Leahy and Marquand Jones. Bill Leahy went out early in a risky maneuver, 60 feet unbroken. Marquand Jones reeled him in thanks to a no rep that Bill Leahy got on the moguls for going around the outside. And at the end, Leahy 3:18, Jones 3:20. Those are our top 2 times to beat. Wes Peters had done 3:34 in the previous heat, so we've had 3 times from the men faster than Lydia Fish's winning time for the women.
Okay, let me ask you, who had 3:18, Marquand or Bill Leahy?
Bill.
And what's it look like when someone goes outside the moguls?
Yeah, we just spoke about that also in response to John Young's question. The lead hand is not the problem. It's the trailing hand that they try to sneak around the outside.
Oh, okay. And that was Leahy who did that?
He's not the only one who's had that called against him, but he did get a no rep for it in his second trip across the moguls. He had no problems on the subsequent 3 trips.
That's quite apropos that it happened to Leahy. I appreciate it. I like it.
This
Now,
is heat 5 of 7. They're getting set to start. They're on the starting line. Left to right on your screen, Mike McDonald, Harley Pescosolido. I want to apologize to him and all his fans. We were calling him Harry yesterday. That is entirely on me. Will not happen again. Hal Fisher, top-seeded man in this heat, 11th place overall after day 1. Mike Needleman and Ty Jenkins rounding out heat 5.
And camera 1 is down, but I can see Souza looks like, oh, it's up. Camera 1, firing. Nice job, Souza. Good to see you back. All eyes on Mr. McDonald in the CEO shirt. The California CA Hormones logo on the back. Mad respect. Did you have any idea that Marquand and Bill Leahy were so good? Did you expect that, Brian?
No, I did not know that they would be that good. Heat 5 is underway. 10-minute time cap on this one. 300 feet of handstand walking required. Every 20-foot section must be done unbroken. Variety of different strategies have paid off. Harley and Mike Needleman choosing to go for at least 40 feet unbroken. Sometimes this has paid off. In the case of Bill Leahy, it did. He went 60 feet unbroken. In the case of Drake Lewis, not that he had a bad score, but he fell off the pace and ended up with a time of 6:50. 60 feet for Harley. Needleman shakes off a miss on the stairs as Ty Jenkins joins him. Mike McDonald and Hal Fisher taking a little break before their first attempt at the stair-stair combo. I see some weakness in the elbows there for McDonald on the stairs, and he ends up losing his balance on the last step on the way down.
Someone's made us a new screen. This is nice.
That would be the young and talented Will Brandstetter.
Yeah, he hooked it up.
Harley and Mike Needleman with 100 feet done. Ty Jenkins a few seconds behind them, 100 feet in the book. So you see him on there, on screen right there. All three of them leading the heat as McDonald and Fisher are working on their ramp stair on the way back, 40 feet behind those men.
And this is a workout where age really doesn't matter. This is a place where Ty Jenkins can win and equal with the field, right? He's equal with the field at 17 years old.
Lydia Fish, 19 years old, got the win from amongst the elite women's field. Kaden Myers, 6:57, did have the time to beat after 2 heats, though several men have beaten that since then. So, yes, absolutely. And Ty Jenkins right on cue, now in the lead along with Needleman, 10 feet ahead of Harley Pescosolido. But Harley choosing to stay on his hands and straight into the moguls. If this pays off for him, he'll take over the lead. So a little bit of a back and forth between Harley, Jenkins, and Needleman as they continue to lead McDonald and Fisher in Heat 5 of Elite Men Individual Event 3.
Does each lane have one judge?
Correct. And then there's also a head judge out there on the floor supervising.
So each judge traverses the course along with the athlete.
Yes, some of them more fervently than others. Jenkins first to finish his third traverse across the floor. Harley done, Needleman done. So all three of those guys 40% through with the, or 60% done with the work at the 2-minute 30-second mark. McDonald only 20 feet behind them, slowly and steadily chipping into that aggressive pace that those guys set early. 20 more feet done for Jenkins as he has that 20-section lead over Needleman and Harley, and that is the most difficult section, that second pass on the ramp, on the stairs, on the back-to-back turnaround in rounds 3 and 4. Ty struggling on the moguls there. He kicks down. Him and Needleman now 20 feet ahead of Pescosolido. McDonald 20 feet behind that. Fisher 20 feet behind Mike.
McDonald had a slip up on the stairs in the foreground a few seconds ago.
He actually saved it and was able to get that pass done off camera. Ty Jenkins finishes his moguls on the fourth traverse across the floor. Needleman getting set to do the same. So Jenkins and Needleman 20 feet ahead of Pescosolido still. Jenkins kicking up first and working on the ramp. We're at the 3-minute and 20-second mark. So Jones and Leahy are already done from the previous heat. Those times will stand as the top times to beat. 3:34 from Wes Peters has elapsed now. So the top 3 times have passed by. We're looking at, I believe, 4:47 from Robert Yates in the previous heat as the next potential time to beat. 60 feet to go, 60 seconds to go for Jenkins if he wants to track that down.
And how is that called? That fall over there. I'm trying to see who that was next. Mike Needleman. Did he get that? Nope. They're sending him back. That must have been just inches.
And as he gets sent back, Harley Pescadolito gets successful traverse there, so he's passed Needleman by. Jenkins leaving all of them in the dust currently. If he completes this mogul, he'll have a 40-foot lead over Harley at the 4:10 mark. 47 seconds to go till Yates' time. He's shaking out the arms. A successful trip here would give him the 4th fastest time that we've seen so far.
Daniel Hebert just went back and watched Leahy's no rep. If he called him for going around the mogul, then he is full of shit. He was in the middle of the mogul, impossible for his hand to go outside. The pundits are now chiming in.
Bill Leahy needs to be held to the highest standard of any athlete in CrossFit at this time. It's good for him to get a no rep like that. Let that go. He's doing fine.
Brian now fighting with the crowd.
4:47 has passed by. Robert Yates' time has passed. Jenkins with 2 missed attempts on the stairs here. 5:15 the time from Jackson Drohan, the next that we're looking to beat. Jenkins going for another attempt. 5 minutes has now passed on the clock. Almost loses his balance at the top. Fights to keep it. Gets both hands across. And 5:04 for Ty Jenkins. He'll take the heat win. 5th best time we've seen so far.
Mike McDonald clears another 20-foot section over the moguls. Looks like maybe he jammed up a finger.
He has, in the meantime, passed by Harley and Needleman. Harley, like Drake Lewis, going for 60 feet unbroken and then fading late in this one. Not that he's doing poorly, but probably not necessary given as much as he struggled on the back third of the test. McDonald, 5:32.
Lane 6 has proven to be a great lane for media, great media lane.
Mike McDonald, very methodical approach there and a solid performance. Harley does get in at 5:49, so as we said, not a bad time at all, but a very aggressive start relative to that finish. Needleman falling over after clearing the ramps. He's smiling and shaking it off. Needleman with a lot of competition experience under his belt. 6 minutes has passed by.
Mike McDonald came in 15th place with 100 points. Our leader, James Sprague, has 190 points.
Hal Fisher working on his 4th traverse across the floor. With that 20-foot done, he'll have 100 feet remaining. Colton Mertens coming up in the next heat, Hector. You're just in time.
Colton Mertens not in the final heat.
Needleman giving another attempt here. 6:40 on the clock. Drake Lewis had a time of 6:50. Caden Myers, 6:57. 6:46 for Needleman, so he'll get underneath both of those. Solid finish after an unfortunate trip on his last attempt on the stairs there for Needleman.
Brian, can you make a casual statement like, hey, if you want to be a CrossFit Games athlete and go and compete at Dickey Stadium, you need to be able to do this in under blah, 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 7 minutes, under...
This particular test?
Yeah.
No, because that would be like me saying that because Laura Horvath can't do 30 strict deficit handstand push-ups in 3 minutes, she doesn't deserve to be in that field either. This is a very specific skill. Some people might not have it. It doesn't mean that they don't have 99, 95, 90% of the other skills that we were required to compete there.
That being said, it would be an error to make it to Dickey's and not be able to complete something like this in sub 10. Akin to in the olden days when people would show up to a semifinals or a games and not have a muscle up.
I would say similar but different. I mean, back then, like when Amanda was introduced in 2010 or the pegboards were introduced in 2015, athletes realize, oh, shoot, well, this is something that I now have to figure out how to do. The variety of handstand walk obstacle course that we've seen over the last couple of years is getting more and more, difficult. This is up there with the most difficult that we've seen, if not the most challenging we've seen. But the moguls are new. You might not have a good opportunity to practice these, so it might be something for people to go back and learn. But there's no telling that we may not see something new at Rogue also, and we might be asking ourselves, man, I can't believe these, but it's the first time seeing it. Then, yeah, there's going to be some that figure out and some that don't. That happens at the games. It's happening here. It'll probably happen at Rogue as well. Hal Fisher, 60 feet to go, 1 minute, 15 seconds until the time cap. Other 4 men in the heat have finished. All but 2 men have finished this underneath the 10-minute time cap. That would be a fact that would lend itself towards your hypothesis, Sevan. That's a no rep. His judge is going to call him back as his hand was still on the line. Good call by the judge there.
It's looking crowded there.
Yeah, definitely less spectator room on this side relative to the other one, so it's more densely packed. It's also Saturday. A lot of people were working yesterday, and I saw several people who I've seen at Crash Crescendo events in the past come up to me this morning and say, hey, man, thanks for the coverage yesterday. I couldn't be here because of work, but loved following along. Make sure to tell Sevan thanks, so I'm doing that now. And they're all in the house today. Some of them volunteering, some of them judging, some of them just to spectate with their family. So, yeah, there's more people on site today for sure. 15 seconds to the cap. Hal Fisher's going to come up 2 sections short. That's going to put him in the same spot as Roman Burkhan and actually tied for last amongst all the men who have gone so far. As they've shown pretty good proficiency on this test throughout the morning.
I like this wide shot too. It really shows you CrossFit Crash. What a great gym. Great facility. 2 competitions a year there, the Crescendo and the Crucible.
Yeah, Ty Jenkins in shot, winner of heat number 5, 5:04. Everyone's still chasing Bill Leahy, 3:18, Marquand Jones, 3:20, and Wes Peters, 3:34. The top 3 times we've seen 2 heats to go.
Mike McDonald in the CEO shirt. What size is that? Is that a large?
He fills out any size.
Ty Jenkins. Oh, shit. We're doing a little filming in the bathroom. Oh, no. We're in the corral. Can we unmute your camera, Souza?
Yeah, what's up?
Oh, nothing. Just wanted to catch any ambient sound if you're in the corral.
No, they're at that moment where everybody's super quiet, like the moment when they walk out.
Hey, can you smell those dudes? Are you close enough to smell those dudes?
Yeah. Check it out. I could touch him if I wanted to. I don't want to, though. He gave me a look.
Hey, lane 6 is nice for filming, huh?
Awesome. What's that?
Lane 6 is nice for filming, huh?
Dude, it's perfect. You see me on the other angle? I got this whole thing wide open to lock down why the whole heat's out here.
Any observations you're making that you don't think that the camera is really is emphasizing enough to the crowd at home?
I mean, I just think just the feel of it in here is awesome. Like it's a super supportive crowd. It just reminds you of the really early day regionals. You know what I mean? Where everybody kind of already knew each other. We're one separation of degree away. That's how it is here. It's super cool. Everybody's saying hi to each other, help each other out. If you feel like you belong here, you know what I mean?
The family reunion feel.
That's right.
How about those moguls? Do those look more difficult in person? Because they don't look so big on camera.
Dude, they look difficult in person, and they are big. If you see the judges standing here, if she were to go over to here, that would almost be above knee high for her. So it's got quite a bit of elevation, especially the stairs. I want to try them. There's a setup in the warm-up room, so if you want to see how difficult it is, you can try that later and watch me fail several times.
30 seconds to start time. Heat 6 of 7 for the elite men. Event 3 of 7 on the weekend. Day 2 of 3. Crash Crucible Retour 2023. Left to right from lanes 1 through 5. Sebastian Jollis comes in 10th overall. Colton Mertens 8th after day 1. Austin Hatfield 6th. He'll be in the middle lane. Daniel Sterling in the pink shorts. Told me he plans to wear shorter and shorter shorts throughout the course of the weekend. Living up to expectation on day 2. He's in 7th. And Jack Rosema, 9th place overall after day 1 in the all black on the right side of your screen.
And they're off. 6th heat, event 3.
Mertens, the only man in the heat choosing to kick down. He's looking at the clock, takes exactly 5 seconds and kicks back up. We have seen a variety of different strategies pay off for different athletes. We've also seen some strategies not work out, primarily doing big sections early on. Daniel Sterling, the early leader, he's already back working on the other side of the floor. Austin Hatfield kicking up second. Jack Roosevelt about to do the same. Colton Mertens, slow but steady, does pick off one athlete on the way down, that being Sebastian Jollis, and he'll kick back up pretty tight heat early on. You're only 45 seconds have passed if Sterling and Hatfield are already working on the moguls on the way back.
Daniel Sterling going for it, leaving Hatfield behind.
Sterling, 120 feet done in 1 minute. Kicking up again after only 4 seconds.
Now Hatfield has to be smart here and not chase Sterling and stay in his own game.
I think that's probably the advice I would advise for everyone. And I think Mertens, being very aware of what is within his realm of possibility and not, is implementing a plan that he's laid out for himself very intelligently. Hatfield probably feeling the confidence and seeing Sterling, who we don't know yet, might be the best in the field at this, will have to deal with a little bit of that temptation to chase him, yes.
Sterling's back up, continuing to hold the lead. Hatfield moving faster and passing Sterling as they go up over the stairs.
1:55 on the clock, and Hatfield wastes no time. Literally took one step and kicked back up again, but it misses on the ramp on the stairs on the way back. Jack Rosema not too far behind at the 2:07 mark. He's done with 3/5 of this one. Mertens and Jollis 20 feet behind Rosema.
So Sterling's Sterling's moving a little bit slower and spending more time on his hands. Hatfield moves a little bit faster. I wonder if for these longer events that Hatfield will have the advantage because he is moving faster.
Hatfield choosing to go from the stairs into the moguls. He's going to be able to get it done. Sterling tripping on the moguls there. So Hatfield at the 2:35 mark, the new leader. He's got 80 feet to go. Rosema also choosing to go into the moguls without stopping. And if he's able to do this, one mogul to go, he will have passed Sterling. So it's now Hatfield, then 20 feet to Rosema. Sterling working on the moguls. Jollis failing on the stairs. Mertens has passed him by, and he's only 20 feet behind Rosema and Sterling.
Hatfield
3 minutes have passed.
Hatfield now has the largest lead as he does his final lap.
His final trip down the floor, 40 feet to go. Bill Leahy's time is only 5 seconds away, so Leahy and Jones are still going to have the first and second best times. 3:18 has passed, 3:20 has now passed. "20 feet remain for Hatfield. He's going to attempt it. This is, I didn't think so. 3:34 has passed, so Wes Peters with the third best time still. Now we're looking at those times in the 4-minute range.
That probably cost Hatfield 15 seconds, that little stunt right there. You're starting to traverse the stairs and then having to turn back.
Hatfield, 3:48, the fourth man we've seen go under 4 minutes, fourth best time so far. That will yield good points on the leaderboard for Hatfield. Rosema and Sterling locked in a battle for second in this heat. Both men working on the moguls on their final trip across the floor. Rosema gets that done. Sterling a few moguls behind him.
We're going to have a race here. Keep your eyes on Pink Shorts and Jack Rosema in lane 5. Lane 4 and 5. Last 20 feet. Rosema's up. Sterling will not chase him. Oh, Rosema's down with a forward somersault.
4:20 on the clock. 4:47 from Yates is the next time that they're chasing.
Souza, if you have any other apps open on your phone, Seema's dad would like you to close them. Thank you.
Of course I got him closed. What is this, amateur hour?
Rosema over, and he's in at 4:42. That will be ahead of the 4:47 from Robert Yates. Sterling will let that 4:47 time pass him by as he attempts the stairs for the final time.
Sterling showing a championship mentality that didn't quite pay off. He went for it. Still a great time.
5:02, solid finish time for Sterling. Mertens and Jollis are on their last traverse. Mertens working on the moguls. He gets that done. 20 seconds to go for Mertens. Quite frankly, his execution from start to finish has almost mirrored Mike McDonald's from the previous heat. And if he finishes this stairs without missing, he'll have almost the exact same time. He gets his thumb caught on the last stair on the way up.
Forward somersault for Colton.
$5:40 on the clock right now. Mike McDonald finished in 5:32. Jackson Drohan finished in 5:15. Hunter Osment 5:37. Harley Pescolodito 5:49. All of those times have now passed Mertens by as big points are slipping away from Mertens here on event 3.
Colton taking deep breaths. Deep breaths.
Jollis catches up to Mertens. They're now both within 20 feet of finishing. Mertens with a Katrin Davidsdottir-esque save there. 6:15. Mertens across. Massive to get that save there. At 6:15 gets him in again ahead of about half of the competitors so far.
Did he do that on purpose? Was he showing off? Just do a handstand push-up on stair 2?
Absolutely not. No. Sebastian Jollis fighting for his last 20 feet. Jollis with a great day 1 yesterday came in with the 10th place overall. He's in at 6:38. That squeezes ahead of several other competitors in that same range. And all the men in heat number 6 are done underneath the 7-minute mark with 1 heat to go.
Hatfield got a little swagger knowing he pulled off a 3:45. Sterling held the lead, I want to say, for at least half that race.
It was basically at the halfway point where he surrendered it to Hatfield, yes.
Final heat staged in the corral at CrossFit Crash. Final heat for men's elite event 3 at the Crash Crucible. I don't see them in the hallway yet with the Sousa cam going down there.
Still 2.5 minutes to the time cap from the previous heat. They will run things on time, I believe. So we got a couple minutes. If you want to, we could pull up the women's leaderboard or one of the masters leaderboards while we're waiting.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's pull up the women's elite leaderboard and see if it has been updated here. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that, Brian?
I sure can.
Lydia Fish, first place, 282 points. Is that updated yet? It has event 3 in it.
Yes, and we did look at this earlier at the end of the last feed, but it's been a couple hours, so I thought it'd be nice to revisit it. Lydia Fish leading after day 1, and she got the win on event 3, so maintains that lead. We had some shifts on the leaderboard. The biggest jumps up were from Ellie Hiller, who went from 17th to 6th. Chloe Wilson went from 15th to 7th. Amanda Fisher moved up from, I believe, 9th to 4th, and Ariel Saunders moved down from 2nd to 9th just off the screen there.
Lydia Fish coming from Training Think Tank, home of Travis Mayer. Noah Olson's there, correct? Sarah Sigmund's daughter was there. Alexis Raptis is out of there.
Tyler Watkins.
Is Tyler Watkins Training Think Tank kid?
Yeah.
Wow. Lindsay Lane, the hometown girl from Crash, 2nd place.
2nd place, rebounding from that missed pegboard ramp. They probably cost her 25 points on event 1, still in 2nd place overall.
Emily Baroth, 5th place, CrossFit Krypton, home of Ben Smith, and where we know the champ Laura Horvat goes to train when she's in the States.
Yeah, and I'm feeling pretty good with the picks that I made. Many of them are up there in the top 10. There's still a lot of work to be done here, though. It's a competition where things can change quickly. Hannah Black, a popular pick by many, currently in 15th, probably looking to make her big move this afternoon on the thruster ladder.
It's nothing a CEO shirt couldn't fix. Any surprises way down here at the bottom?
Aaliyah Miller for sure. Picked her to finish 2nd overall. She's down here in 28th. We're looking to see if she can make some rebounds. She's quite strong herself. Could do very well on the thruster ladder this afternoon as well. Very good on ring muscle ups that we'll see tomorrow. She had some really good performances in the North America West semifinals. So not counting her out to move up, but podium likely out of reach at this point.
There's the boys in the corral. You see the great James Sprague, Mr. McQueen, Kusi.
Sevan, are there any CEO shirts available here at the Vindicate booth?
That I don't know. Yes. I mean, yes.
I do have some Be Friendly shirts hiding in the back if anyone wants to come and snag one.
Less than a point.
Final heat of elite men are walking onto the floor. This is the final heat of event 3 for all divisions. We're going to see not one but two leader jerseys on the floor here. James Sprague wearing the one that the competition gave him. Quentin McQueen wearing the second place leader jersey that he made himself.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Does he know he spelt that wrong, or?
That's how they spell it in Spartanburg.
Right,
Sevan.
Spartanburg. All right.
The 5 men in this heat from left to right will be Brandon Smith, who had an incredible day one. One of the athletes, Adrian Conway, coaches that's come out here to test himself against some of the best in the Southeast. He'll be in lane 1. Lane 2, Max Krieg. Phenomenal performance yesterday. Great performance in semifinals. I think a sneaky athlete to watch for next season who could potentially be threatening for CrossFit Games spot once again. James Sprague coming off a rookie appearance at the CrossFit Games, leading the charge. First place after day one. Quentin McQueen, the local kid, 22 years old. Great performances yesterday. He was the featured edit on a reel by Rick Jones that really I watched 6 times this morning. It's so impressive what Rick's able to turn around. And Daniel Coots in lane number 5. Another great performance by a young man. He's a veteran here competing in both Crucible and Crescendo last year.
Someone was drawing male genitalia on some of the equipment. Who was that? McQueen? Awesome. So juvenile. When this sport's never going to get anywhere if we keep doing things like that. Ever. You can see how big James Sprague is from this wide shot here.
Yeah, Quentin McQueen and Brandon Smith also over 6 feet tall, but James a couple inches taller than that. All 5 guys looking to back up a good performance from yesterday. In order to get the win, they're going to have to chase down Bill Leahy's time of 3:18 that came out of heat number 4. In that same heat, Marquand Jones had a time of 3:20. There have been 2 other times under 4 minutes. That was Wes Peters at 3:34 and Austin Hatfield from the previous heat at 3:48. Daniel Coots and Max Krieg both opting to go for 60 feet unbroken. This has worked for some, but it's worked in the negative direction for more people than not who've tried to do that.
That being said, you cannot win if you don't take some chances like that. You will not have the best score unless you do several 60-footers unbroken, correct?
I would disagree. Coots, however, in the meantime, is going for another 60-foot end section. I think what you could do is ramp, moguls, break, and then moguls, ramp, break. And if you hit those all unbroken but always break on the stairs, I think you could still compete with those low 3 times. So Coots at the 55-second mark is kicking up to head back down the floor. He's faster on his split times than anyone else has been so far. Going straight into the moguls again, yet to take a break when he has had an opportunity to. Let's see if he comes down here before the stairs. No, continuing to go for it up the stairs. And that's 3 consecutive 60-foot sections done in under a minute, 20 seconds for Daniel Coots.
This is how you go for a win. This is how you go for a win.
Now, Coots doing something incredible, and we'll stay with him. Max Krieg also done with 120 feet. James Sprague done with 120 feet. Quentin McQueen, 20 feet behind that. Brandon Smith struggling at the back of this heat relative to the heat. Probably not doing that bad when all things are considered, but when Coots is doing this, anything else is going to look worse than it would against any other heat. Coots breaking for the first time in his 4th traverse across the floor after the stairs. He kicks up for the moguls at the 150 mark.
Is that Brandon Smith who's in 2nd place?
Brandon Smith is in 5th place overall coming into the day. He's also in 5th in this heat right now. Coots going from moguls to ramp, and he has only 60 feet to go at the 2-minute 10-second mark. So that means 1 minute and 8 seconds to Leahy's time. And he's back on his hands again.
Final heat of event number 3, Daniel Coots making the final 60-foot push, 40 feet left. Brian, can he beat the best time of the day?
Yeah, he's within range of that right now. He can't afford any he can probably still afford 1 mistake as long as it's not due to fatigue. He's on the moguls here at the 2:43 mark, finishes the moguls at the 2:46 mark, and he just gets that little tap down that we've talked about. So 28 seconds to Bill's time, 20 feet to go. At this point, he must finish this next attempt without missing if he wants to beat Leahy and Jones.
He's lapping McQueen there?
He's lapping everyone. Well, not everyone, but yes, McQueen. Coots is good. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Chalk that up as an event win for the 20-year-old Daniel Coots, making a statement early. Bill Leahy will take second overall on this one. Marquand Jones will take third. That will be massive for both of them. They'll both get over 95 points and will be significant help as they move up the leaderboard heading into the thruster ladder. Back on the competition floor, it's James Sprague, who's now passed everyone else by. He's had more of a methodical approach. He's still in range to potentially finish just under 5 minutes. He only has 40 feet remaining, and he's back on his hands going over the moguls.
James Sprague, McQueen, and Krieg are the only ones ahead of Daniel, and they're only ahead by 20 points. And so this actually could be enough points to put Daniel Coos in first place.
A miss on the moguls there for Sprague. I think he basically just got his thumb caught on the turf. It doesn't look like his shoulders or core are giving out, which is a good sign. Gets done on that one at the 4:10 mark. 20 feet to go. All those times sub 4 minutes have passed by. In this range of where he's looking is Robert Yates at 4:47 and Jack Rosema at 4:42. He's up on his hands at the 4:25 mark. And James Sprague, 4:32, very impressive. He talked to me last night and said he didn't know if he'd be able to do as well on the two events today as he did yesterday. That was a very good score. And like you said, a lot of the men who are close to him were not able to beat him. Only Coots of this heat was able to have a better time than him. Also, Austin Hatfield from the previous heat.
Is that Krieg right there on the left side of the screen?
Yes, Krieg in the black shorts is in third in the heat right now. He's got 40 feet to go. Quentin McQueen is 20 feet behind him with 60 feet to go. 5 minutes and 10 seconds have passed.
So it looks like it's going to be either Daniel or James in first place after event 3.
Yes, and I would expect Austin Hatfield to make a jump into the top 3 or 4 as well. Hatfield will not be reseeded into that heat for the next event, but his points should put him up near there. Krieg successfully finishes that at the 5:33 mark. He's got 20 feet remaining. McDonald's time of 5:32 has passed. Osmond's time of 5:37 has passed. A miss on the stairs for Krieg as McQueen finishes the ramp. So McQueen 40 feet to go, Krieg 20 feet to go.
We're 2 hours into this broadcast. We will be pulling this stream down and starting a new stream.
Harley Pescaladito's time has passed. Colton Merton's time of 6:15 has passed. Max Krieg in at 6:19. Solid finish for Krieg there. Will probably be good for 50 points or so and keep him in that top 5 or 6. McQueen with 20 feet remaining. 6 minutes, 30 seconds have passed. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to the time cap. Miss for McQueen. Shakes it out. Looks at the clock. Drake Lewis's time of 6:50 has passed by. Caden Myers' times of 6:57 is going to pass by. Mike Needleman, 6:46 will have passed by. Sebastian Jala, 6:38 passed by. So lots of scores passing here as McQueen is looking to finish up and salvage as many points as he can. 7:11, and he's happy with that. Got to appreciate the celebration there at the end. That leaves Brandon Smith on the competition floor, well behind his heat there, and in jeopardy of giving away a ton of points relative to what he was able to achieve yesterday.
Brandon, focus here. Finish up. You got it. One good run.
Who is that we can hear screaming at him? Family? Coach?
Tyler Watkins.
Oh, good. That's awesome. Okay, I scheduled the next stream for 11:20 a.m. and we should be live by 11:24 a.m. and that will be team event 4.
20 seconds to the time cap for Smith. Probably has a time for one more attempt if he wants to try to get another 20 foot in the books before event 3 wraps up. Daniel Coots, the top time, 3:10 coming out of this heat. Bill Leahy will take second for the elite men, and Marquand Jones will take third.
Brian, why is there only one heat for the teams next?
There's only been one heat for the teams the entire competition.
Ah, perfect. Okay, so just staying consistent. Good, I love it.
That'll do it for elite individual men, event 3.
How's your magic hot seat?
James Sprague coming over to say hello. James, you told me that this would be a potentially damage control event for you. I think you did quite well. What's your assessment?
I tested this and I was almost sub 4 when I tested it, so I was a little bit off of that, but pretty solid execution besides the one miss. So it was exciting to just be out there, start the day off with something that not a lot of people get to touch on in a regular gym. So that was pretty dang cool to do something like this at a local comp.
A lot of the fans out there don't think you're the strongest athlete out here. What are you going to show us on the thruster ladder?
You got to say that one more time. I couldn't hear you. Too quiet.
Not everyone thinks you're one of the strongest athletes in the field. We got a strength test coming up with the thruster ladder. What are we going to see?
Oh, what we're going to see is staying in my own lane. I've been working at this.
You crushed that.
Been working at this all year long with my coach. That's all we really do is strength. And now that I got some healthy knees, I can do some good thrusters. But these short kings are definitely going to take it. But I'll try and stay close.
Awesome work, James. We'll see you this afternoon.
Much love. See you at the Catan board.
James Sprague. Always
There
great
you
to
go.
see James. Jason Hopper giving James Sprague a hard time.
Is Sousa's mic open?
Taylor Self. We can't open it. Can we open up your mic, Sousa?
You're very quiet and the noise behind me is loud. But are we closing the stream?
Yeah, let's close it up. We will be back. The stream will tell you we're going to be back at 11:20 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If we're a few minutes late, don't worry. The event doesn't start until 11:24. So you guys have, before the next stream starts, you have 8 minutes. Thank you for joining us at the Crash Crucible. Thank you to GoWad, and thank you to J.R. Howell for putting on such a great event and giving us something to do this weekend. Sevan's dog, thank you. $2 for the Shadikin. Brian Friend, you demand.